Hello everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to take and show you how to make a simple but effective tong clip. To hold your tongs, so this way you don't have to squeeze so much. If you struggle with carpal tunnel like I do, from previous career choice and not being smart with my hands, tong clips are a lifesaver for your wrists. So today I'm going to show you how to make those. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Alrighty. For this project, we're going to use a bit of 1/4-inch rod. As you see here, we're only going to need about 4.5 inches of 1/4-inch rod to make this spring clip itself. But we're going to leave it on this rod until we get it done. So the rod's much longer. I think it's, well, it's probably 3.5, almost 4 foot long this rod is. But we're going to focus on this last 4.5 inches here to take and make our spring clip. Depending on how wide you need for this tong clip or spring clip to be for your grip, however wide you like to hold your tongs or narrow, will dictate how long your stock needs to be. I find right around 3.5 to 4.5 inches is about all you really need for most gripping styles. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll go over there to the forge and we'll get this heated up and we'll start turning this into a tong clip. Alright, we're here at the forge. A quick tip on doing this, since there's going to be a lot of little bending, you want to try to focus on just the amount of material that you need heated to take and make the bends. And try to localize your heats as much as possible. It'll make a lot quicker work of this. If you're working in a gas forge, this is kind of hard to do, as a gas forge has a tendency to want to radiate the heat a lot more in the stock. If you have a gas forge, my suggestion is to just set this at the entrance or the tip or wherever you're trying to bend at first, and set it right at the entrance of the forge and not in the forge itself. And what that'll do is it'll allow it to conduct and heat up enough material for you to get it to bend or get a semi-localized heat just by setting it at the entrance of the actual gas forge. Coal forges work nice, and of course if you got a rosebud on a torch, makes even more quick work of this. But we'll get this heated up. You want a nice hot, a nice bright heat for bending, just to make it easier. So the next clip will be at the anvil and I'll be taking and bending it up. And before I forget, so you know where we're going with this, this is essentially what we are making. Oh, hopefully you don't get bored with the rest of the video. There's a few little tips and techniques I'm going to go with for this here just to help, you know, the new guys out. So you can see how quickly we can make this. Pretty simple, not a real big deal. But, like I said, it saves you hours of pain in the long run. So we'll go ahead and get this heated up. I've got a nice small forge fire. And the reason for the nice small forge fire is there again, localized heat. And I don't need to be burning all this coal. I don't need to be wasting all my coal and coke to heat up 1/4-inch rod. So, find that little sweet spot in the fire and get this heated up. And we'll go to the anvil. Alright, first step, we're going to have a nice localized heat, and we're going to stick out about 3/4 of an inch over the edge of the anvil, and we're going to try to take and bend it. We're not hitting against the corner, just over the edge. And you want this to come out to about a right angle, or a 90 degrees. That's okay with a nice smooth corner on the end thing. So that's the first step. We're going to roll that once like that. The next step is we will come off about an inch from that and go ahead and start bending the second 90 of this piece. But what this is actually going to do is we're going to end up scrolling that all the way back around on itself and then make our final bend, and that will give us what we're looking for. So first step is bending it at a 90. Next step, we'll come out roughly about an inch from the outside of the bend and start our very next bend. So we'll do that next. Alright, here's the next one. We're coming out roughly 1 inch, and we're starting that bend. Now, obviously this is going to hit the anvil, so we're going to flip it up, and we're going to work that all the way back and around. Just like you see here, and tuck it. You can see how it's tucking around there. That's what we're wanting. Use a couple back face blows. And as you can see, it's starting to pigtail around. So that's what we're wanting to achieve right now. Heat it up again, and we'll tighten up that loop a little bit. Alrighty, we're going to tighten this loop up a little bit, get nice and tight and snug. Just be a nice little tight spiral. We're working on. Okay, so now we've got this little pretzel looking shape thing starting. So what you're going to see here is this here, this portion is actually going to get bent the other way, and then this portion here is going to get bent the other way as well. The reason for scrolling around that first 90 is kind of just to give yourself an idea about how much material you need between it and the next bend. So that's all that first bend really was doing. It wasn't useful for much because obviously we're going to come back in here now and we're going to shape it back the opposite way. Oh, before we do that, we'll heat this back up and give this 90-degree bend a few setting blows just to kind of help them overlap a little bit better. And so that's what we're going to work at next. Get it heated up. We'll come to the flat, flatten that out, and then I'll start bending that around. Alright, laying it down on the anvil. We'll give it a few setting blows in there. That makes that nice. And now I'm going to start shaping that back down. And I actually might go ahead and go to the horn for this. We'll see how well I can get this to bend around right here at the edge. It's kind of a pain in the butt to keep having to move the camera around, but I think I will go to the horn for the rest of it. As you can see, that's creating our little tong clip there. Like I said before, depending on the length of material you use will give you a different spread on this clip for your hands. I like my grips to be fairly narrow versus out here. It makes my wrist feel a little bit better, so that's what I go with. It's all open to preference. So I'll go to the horn, I'll finish refining this shape in here, and then I'll just go ahead and bend this rest of this clip, and the forging will be done. Alrighty, the horn of the anvil, we're just going to refine our shape a little bit. Make it look more friendly to holding tongs. That's always a good thing. One thing I did do outside of camera view, go back over here real quick. One thing I did do outside of camera view is I heated this up and then I cooled off this nub so that way that doesn't move around a whole bunch. But that's what I did there. So now we'll start curling the rest of this over the horn of the anvil to fit our stance that we like. Sorry, gotta go off camera here for a second, out of focus. Get it nice and squared up. These aren't meant to be the most prettiest things in the world. They're meant to do their job. So, you know, don't worry about it. It's just a quick thing to do. It takes longer in this video than explaining it than it does to actually make the thing happen. But that's essentially what you're looking for. And then you can go to the Hardy and you can cut it off. And after you get it cut off, I always like to clean any raw or rags or rough edges off the tong clips. That way if you snag your hand on it, you're not going to bleed. It's just a good general practice to do that. But that's why you leave it on the bar. As you can see, this would be kind of a pain in the butt to handle with tongs in of itself. So leave it on a long bar, form you a clip, and you can form, you know, 7 or 8 of these, you know, just as good practice to start your day with. And, you know, they come in a lot of handy. You can give them away to friends or other blacksmith club members or this or that. That's what this one will be doing. I'll just give this away to some guys at my blacksmithing club. So, anyways, hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe if you like this type of content and you would like to see more of it. You guys have a blessed day and happy smithing.